Okay, welcome friends to day 5 revision of Mirror Workbook. Let's start with so before starting the revision, one of you please confirm the voice is clear and loud. Background music is not too high. Okay, thank you, Nishaji. So,
Can you please lower the background noise music a little bit?
okay, sure, Silpaji.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Home Sam. Is it good now? Is it good, Silpaji?
Perfect.
Okay. So the day 5 was all about building our self-esteem. And this is so important. If we are not having a high self-esteem, then we might not be actually achieving or utilizing our fullest potential. So we will be kind of leading a mediocre life. So let's see what is the method that author is suggesting to building our self-esteem. Today you learn more about loving yourself with respect, gratitude, and the realization that your body, mind, and soul are miracles to be appreciated. So, body, mind, and souls are nothing but miracles, and it is so true because how the body, mind, and soul operates, even science also is unaware till date, isn't it? So, let's appreciate the intricacies. Let's appreciate the miracles. And every time, if whenever we realize something as miraculous, we appreciate naturally. It is just that we are not paying deeper attention. That is how we are kind of not able to appreciate. Not able to appreciate to our body, our mind, or soul. So today is a good day to pay deeper attention and appreciate. How did you feel when you wake up this morning? Did you smile when you looked in the mirror and said, I love you, darling? I really love you. Are you starting to believe it? After just a few days of mirror work, you may see that it has already started making a difference in your life. So, the main point here to notice is whether we are believing it or not, whether we are believing what we are seeing. So, there is a Sanskrit proverb which is very true, and it says that Sansaya Buddhi Vinasyanti Nischaya Buddhi Nischaya Buddhi Vijayanti. So Nischaya Buddhi and Sansaya Buddhi. If we do not believe, we are not a believer. It's not meaning that we need to believe in everything that we see or hear, but what is authentic that our soul definitely connects, and that we need to believe. If we are doing with half-heartedly, with less of belief, then we will be getting half-hearted result and half-hearted um, outcome. So, what is the use of getting the? None of us actually wants to get the half-hearted result, but unfortunately, we do not do things with 100% faith and believe on our capacity, on the outcome, on the success. The result is certainly going to be positive, and with that outcome orientation, we need to work. So that is what actually is applicable here, and here in the mirror work also it is applicable in whatever endeavor that we do in our day-to-day living. So make sure, let's make a point from today. We will not be doing, if at all we do, then we will do with full faith, conviction, and belief with whatever we do. Otherwise, better not to do. You, so this is the very good way or great way of doing things, and letting go of few things which is not going to add any value. Going forward, author is saying, you may be feeling much better when you look in the mirror and see your beautiful face. You may be feeling much better about yourself. Are you beginning to love and approve of the person you see in the mirror? Are you beginning to love and approve of the person you see in the mirror? So, if we are beginning to love and approve, the love and approve here we need to note. Many times we have our own reservations. We do not love ourselves fully. We do not approve our thoughts, our doings, our actions, our conduct, many things actually. And there is no point in disapproving because that creates a conflict. There are two parts. There will be always, whenever we do this, we are dividing ourselves into two parts. One will be favor, one will be exactly opposite kind of thought it will create. With two forces pulling each other in the opposite direction, the result, you can understand how the result will be. If I want to go from A to B, or maybe from, say, from Kanyakumari I am going towards Kashmir, and I have created this kind of situation in myself wherein actually I have created two parts in me, and one is pulling towards east, one is pulling towards west. So instead of me who wants to go towards the north, I won't be able to go anywhere, or whichever is actually kind of forcible or kind of more um, powerful. If it is, if east is more powerful, then I'll be getting dragged towards east, but my aim is to go towards north, so it's not going to solve my purpose. So it's always good to approve and love the self, the inner being, and from that core, from that state, let's operate. And a follow-up question comes here: is it possible to approve the self even when we do something wrong, even when we do something which is not approved by the society? Can you approve yourself when the society is not approving you or believing that you have committed something wrong? So just think over it, and we'll discuss this question tomorrow. Okay, so try to think deeper, and then we'll discuss tomorrow, or maybe by the end of the session, if anyone wants to share, they're also free to share what is your thought coming towards it. Love is a great miracle cure. Love ourselves work Loving ourselves works miracles in our life. I have discovered that no matter what is the problem, the best way to resolve it is to start loving yourself. The best way to resolve it is start loving yourself, whatever may be the problem. So if the problem is there, okay, then also there is no point in hating. Why and how that is possible and doable, that we'll discuss tomorrow or towards the end of the session, because logically it doesn't seems to be correct. Logically we might be thinking that okay, the problem creator is me, then how can I approve myself, how can I love myself, isn't it? Anyone thinks that it is possible? Am I clear? The question is clear.
No, could you just repeat the question?
The question is, when we do something wrong as per the society norms, or when we do something wrong as per my own ideology, then is it possible to love myself, approve myself?
Bikashi, you're breaking. Is it only for me or is it for the rest of group two?
For me, it's clear. But I think it
Okay.
depends on if the person thinks that he has done something morally wrong or not. Like, I mean, if we take an example of the terrorist people,
Hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
they are doing something which is, I mean, terrorism is definitely not morally correct and all, but still they are doing it because they don't think it is wrong, right?
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is like
One.
this. So it depends on what the person himself who is doing the wrong, whether he or she thinks it is wrong or not.
So if the person is thinking that he is correct or he is wrong, then is it okay to not love the self and not approve the self?
No, when you once you realize you have made a mistake, like if I realize I made a mistake, then I
Mm-hmm.
think it will take some time for the person to come out of that guilt, right? Guilt or shame or
Mm-hmm.
whatever he's feeling at that present moment. And
Mm-hmm.
then it is very like, I mean, sometimes we see that people tend to प्रायश्चित करते हैं ना, तो प्रायश्चित के बाद शायद they can again love themselves. But the moment you realize you made a mistake, so immediately you can't love yourself, right? I mean, that is my
So
point.
prayashchit is not guilt.
Yes, like when you are in the state of prayashchit, that means you have accepted that you have made a mistake and now
Yes.
you are trying to move forward. So
Yes.
that is not, I mean, that is the time where you may be starting to love yourself. Like
Yeah. So,
it is a
so
state of
it's
acceptance, prayashchit.
yes. Yeah. Correct. So this is something like if we are kind of not. Yes, Sipaji. Yeah, you can also share your view. Yeah.
Okay. I would say what we should or what we could do or what we have learned to do through conditioning through our parents and our family is not to love ourselves, consider ourselves not good, bad, okay? And what I have learned in these years is that there's a difference. The difference is, first of all, what we're talking about. I am not the body, I am the soul. So, and then who does the behavior? And it is the behavior that was not correct or that did not suit um, the purpose or did not fit in at the occasion. It's the behavior. Could be the intention also behind it, but it's not the whole self. So if we remember this, it would be possible to quickly accept and move on. And but to put the whole being, we are just not one thing. We have so many aspects. So putting the whole aspect as you're bad, and to suffer through guilt and remorse. Uh, I I mean, this is what we want to do. I'm also, if I may say so, a victim of the conditioning that I've been brought up with. Uh, but if I keep on remembering, I am not my body, I am the soul, and it's my behavior, I think there's going to be a lot of change.
Yes. Yes. You got it right. So this is the way. This is a very very powerful way of getting out of the conditioning that we have got from our childhood or from the environment where we have lived. The way of getting detached from the conditioning. As a soul, I am unique, I am pure, I am powerful, I am love, I am peace. The conditioning, which is the result of the behavior or the action that we take. So I, being the pure soul, is unattached, and I am seeing that okay, this is something which happened because of the external thing, external conditioning. And now that I realized that this conditioning is not helpful, I am consciously choosing not to make the same mistake again. So this is the acceptance. From the mode of acceptance, I have realization, and with this realization I have decided that I am not going to repeat this, and that's it. There is no use or no uh, absolutely no reason also to remain in guilt. But unfortunately we have been understood or taught in such a way that the guilt is the prayashchit that we need to do, and because of the guilt we might remember next time not to commit the same mistake again. But has it really worked ever? No. We people who go to the guilt mode again commit the same mistake more than anyone else. Even the person who is kind of in the process of living, um, one maybe a chain smoker, and doctor has given a warning that it is high time you have to reduce drastically or stop, but still the person will kind of go and again smoke, and after each smoke guilt will come. And then maybe that guilt will be kind of for few hours it will remain, and just after the guilt it's a temporary phase, and again the same smoking will happen. And guilt, when it comes, it sucks our energy, all the energy, all the positivity, all the good part of our inner being will be taken away by the guilt. And because of the energy this sattva guna has gone, it is easier for the rajoguna to again pull us back, or tamoguna to pull us towards the wrong thing and wrongdoing. We do not have energy to fight because the guilt has already taken all the energies. So the result we can all predict. So I agree with Nisaji that it is little difficult, and it generally comes the guilt. But now that we understood why we should not go into guilt mode and what exactly happens to our psychology and physiology when we go to guilt mode, let's take a conscious decision that I will accept it. I will accept it and realize it. With realization and with acceptance, I will decide not to repeat. But as a soul, I am untouched, and I am I am not guilty. It is just the conditioning. So I do not want to go into guilt mode and lose further my energy. That's how actually this reasoning will help us to love ourselves and approve ourselves, even when we have committed something wrong. Okay, so this might be little challenging in the beginning stage, and we all know that it's a journey. So let's keep this in awareness and practice it. If it is there in the awareness, then it will be helpful to come out of the guilt mode. Maybe earlier the guilt mode used to go for the whole day. Some then slowly it will reduce to 10 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, to 2 hours. I have seen people who maybe 1 or 2 minutes they go into guilt mode, or not even that. They say, okay, fine, it happened. I understood. I will make sure that it is not going to happen again. But they will not further create any further guilt mode. So it is practical. I have seen many people actually, many such in my life, and I have also like experienced such state. Even though at times even I also fall into this trap of guilt, but many times actually I have experienced. So it's the kind of like a pendulum. Sometimes it comes, sometimes that comes. So it's a journey again. I understand that it will take its time, but I'm aware, and I have also seen in my life this works. So I would say that each of you may deeply see that next time we will not go to guilt mode, whatever may be the situation. We will approve and love ourselves unconditionally. That is so important message that this book is giving. Maybe without this, all the other things will not stand good. We may not be able to go anywhere further in this journey if we are not able to love and approve unconditionally. And here author is also saying love is the greatest miracle, the greatest miraculous cure. Loving ourselves works miracles in our lives. I have discovered that no matter what the problem is, the best way to resolve it is starting loving yourself. So when I have not done something right, then also this holds good, and with love we can um, bring the change. We need to start loving ourselves unconditionally, no matter whatever is the problem. There is nothing, no other mechanism to, no other as good as mechanism than the love, which cures everything. The the chaos that we see around the world, the war that is getting intense and intense, they are doing just fanatically, and only the love and peace from within can change the situation, but no other things. But even that has also its own purpose, so it is happening. So let's not be judgmental in that. It is our duty to remain in the state and propagate the message. If we see that it is not happening with many people around us and they are fanatically like acting, we will just observe it as a detached observer and let go. It's okay. It's part of the game. It's part of the drama, and it has its own significance. Let it happen. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Because you can add something here, because we are
Yes.
very on good point. Yeah, can you hear
Sure.
me?
Family.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Definitely.
Yeah. So just a observation and just to point note, in this particular book or any Western book. Western book means written in a Western side, like Louise Hay. Even if you see her life story, or Wayne Dyer, he is also profound leader in this area. Okay, all their childhoods is basically very traumatic. Okay, and that is since we stay here for last 17 years. So that's why whenever something happens, they always give this thing to their parents, basically, because that is really really truth here. Okay, and that is what written in the book as well, like mom, dad, and god. Okay, but if you see, these three are easy target. Okay, that is not the case in India. Okay, if some Indian reads that book, they think that, okay, mom, dad, and god, these are the three things which we are easily blame and build that guilt complex. Other way to see the same thing is basically see, your mom, dad, like your upbringing, my upbringing, absolutely done fantastically well. That is all our Indian parents really really took very good care of them. So whatever the guilt come or whatever the mistake we done, there is no shortcut to blame just god or mom and dad. Definitely we need to take the, that is what Shivani always said, take the responsibility of your action. Because those guilt feeling is coming is not again those samskaras maybe from your previous birth and all that, but don't always blame your mom and dad. They have done fantastically well to upbring, in your upbringing. So take the responsibility. That is what I learned. Take the responsibility of actions and come out of that guilt complex. Okay, because people, I've seen people, they keep on blaming their mom and dad, whereas their mom and dad does not have absolutely no reason of all their actions. Yes, there may be few, because when you read this Western book, always you found like Vendor and all that, because they had this type of difficult a difficult childhood, because many of their parents are divorcee. And I've seen that many this thing. So that is true for children's here in Europe, but that is not the case in, absolutely no case in India. We, many children, even if they are poor or whatever this thing, mom dad always take good care of their children. Okay, and yes, whatever the actions and clean to play, it is your actions. So as Shivani says, I always like that, take the responsibility of your actions. That is outweigh to the guilt. Again, this is my view, what I understood from this book. Yeah, that's, thanks Bikaji. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Melinda. Yeah. So it could be possible that their childhood may be traumatic, but I'm not sure whether we can generalize that the in India it is all good always, and it is not always good in Western country. I'm not sure about that, but I don't prefer to generalize things. So the second part which you said is so true, that we are not supposed to blame in any case, and we have the control to change the way that we want to lead our life. So that is so true. Thanks for sharing, and definitely we need to work on this in the same way as yes,
Yeah.
Silpaji.
Thank you.
You.
I just wanted to add there is something called Ubuntu in Africa. And
Yes, Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, yes, and it is about reinforcing the good behavior. So even when we talk to our children, especially if we have in our group, if they are parents and of young children, be careful not to say you have done something bad. It's the behavior that has done bad. And Ubuntu is reinforcing just goodness of the spirit, of the soul within the body. And in Ubuntu, they spend, I would just say, the person, the victim, the person who has done something wrong is tied up, and 48 hours, this person, the whole village comes and tells the village, the whole village tells the victim how good the person is, how good the victim is, and everything changes. So I think this is like Ubuntu when you go to the mirror and you just remember that you are the soul and how much unconditionally you are loved, and you can love yourself and you can love others too. If you reinforce that, then the mistakes, those are not mistakes, those are just learnings. Sometimes we also do it with the wrong intention, but then there's so much of ego and mine and everything under play. So just as you said, Bikashi, and to continue and go further in this unconditional state, and just as Milinji said, taking responsibility and moving on. So not creating, I like the word drama. We are all good at dramas. Let go of the drama. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Nisaji, you want to share? You wanted to share?
Yeah, I wanted to, but I think continue because only discussions are going on. I mean, is it okay?
Yeah. So continuing further.
Add to what Milinji said, like parents are never to be blamed because जैसे उन्होंने कहा कि वेस्टर्न सोसाइटीज में दे मे बी सिंगल पेरेंट और ऐसे मतलब देयर चाइल्डहुड मे बी डिफिकल्ट इंडियन मतलब इंडियन कल्चर में तो वी कैन नॉट आई मीन जब वेस्टर्न सोसाइटी में जब चाइल्डहुड इतना डिफिकल्ट होता है फिर भी दे आर रेडी टू फॉरगिव देयर पेरेंट्स सो इंडियन सोसाइटी में तो हमारे पेरेंट्स तो इवन शादी के बाद हमारे बच्चों का भी करते हैं तो there is no reason to blame our parents. That is what
Very
I
nice.
feel.
Yeah, very, very nice reasoning actually. This is so apt, and so one more very strong reason why actually we cannot think of even blaming.
I
Yes,
mean मेरे
Jami.
लिए तो हमको जन्म दिया यही सबसे बड़ी बात है इससे ज्यादा
Yes.
जो भी वो कर रहे हैं that is
आज के
like a
दिन में हम
bonus.
जो है, आज के दिन
Yes.
में हम जो है जैसे हैं,
Yes.
है ना? So
Yes. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. 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 Exactly.
But guys, I'm sorry, I cannot accept this completely, being Western and Indian. There are so many daughters who are raped by their own, they go through so much trauma, mother-in-laws, and it's I don't think it's safe to say that in India and in the West. But the idea of putting your parents high and then they have not done anything except given you birth and may ill treat you, and
Yeah.
you still respect them. So I am a bit, I'm sorry, this is my thing. I don't say every parent, every Indian. I'm sorry, this I cannot accept. I have
Yeah,
to
so
really
that
say.
is what actually I told just before. If you just see the NLP also, it teaches us not to generalize things, and that is where actually we are not generalizing. Everywhere, everything is there. We are just giving one instance and learning from it and moving on. We are not definitely generalizing that Western is like this and Eastern is like this. Eastern countries are like that. Generalizing is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very,
Just
very
don't, yeah, because as you said, just don't go into generalization one,
yeah,
but pick up, don't just pick up the words or sentence blindly,
yeah.
and just, just, that's it. Just generalize it. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we will not generalize. We will just
Yes.
take the essence
Yes,
and then
exactly.
yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
that
Thank you.
thanks for sharing, Milinji and Silpaji. That's so right. And Jami wants to share something. Yeah, Jamiji.
Yeah, I have a question here.
Yeah,
So like I'm giving you a situation, like means I wanted to discuss one thing, like in a typical, Indian couple, like the wife, like as we are discussing that we must कि अपने पेरेंट्स के बारे में हमें वो सोचना चाहिए, और मतलब अगर आप उनके बारे में सोचते हो और केयर करते हो, एंड जो वाइफ है वो शी मतलब वो सोचती है कि मतलब दैट हस्बैंड इज नॉट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ मी, वो मतलब तुम्हारा मतलब जो ये है कि बाद में जो है वो पेरेंट्स काम नहीं आते हैं, पेरेंट्स ये नहीं करते हैं, वो नहीं करते हैं, तो उस सिचुएशन को कैसे मतलब हैंडल किया जाए, लाइक हाउ वी कैन हैंडल दैट सिचुएशन?
so the conflicting situation that you are talking about, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, as the author said, and I also firmly believe that to every problem, so see this line where it says that I have discovered that no matter what the problem is, the best way to resolve it is to start loving yourself. So you need to start loving yourself, and then you can start loving others and accepting others. Loving and accepting self and others will open up the necessary changes, necessary changes, or the changes in circumstances, changes in the situations, all the things, whatever is really required, that is already there within your soul, because all the situations and the circumstances are little personalized. We cannot generalize and give a generic answer unless until we know the deeper intricacies of the situation. But so for that, actually, we can actually do maybe a little deeper session, or maybe one-to-one conversation. Definitely, that will be helpful. Otherwise, by loving yourself and by accepting yourself, when you go and reflect deeply, you will be able to, because you are very close to the situation, how
Okay.
things are taken by your wife and differently by your parents, and how the conflict is happening. And you actually need not to only take the stand for your parents or for your wife, but you need to just love and accept and give the positive vibes to both the parties, and then with that state you can get the wisdom that is really required to deal with the situation very correctly. So
Okay.
yeah, so this actually works. Love and acceptance and the kind of state that we are in, that creates the miracle. But however, if you want to discuss further little deeper, then do ping me, and we will take it up in one-on-one basis, because here we
Sure,
might.
Vikas. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Agree.
anytime. Thank you. So going ahead, your author is saying loving yourself means having great respect for everything about you, inside and out. Now let's reflect whether I am having respect for everything about myself from the inside out. Inside means to my core, to the soul. Am I understanding who am I really is? And if I am able to understand that I am not this body, I am not this bunch of behavior, I am not this bunch of thought, but I am some different entity, energy, which is the which is little different, aloof and detached, then it will be easier for us to have the kind of respect that author is saying. Otherwise, it is not that easy to attain. This is one way I know. If anyone have any other way, yeah, there could be other ways also. This is a spiritual way of dealing the things. It is deep gratitude for the miracle of your body and mind and your soul. Loving yourself is appreciation to such a degree that it fills your heart. It fills your heart until it bursts, overflowing with joy of being you. So important. And this is a meditative state that one experiences. Okay, just by saying it might not be, not all can actually felt it, but this overflowing of joy happens when we are situated in the self, in the true, in our true self. Being you is a meditative experience that is beyond words. It is just that you practice the meditation and try to experience, and once definitely each and every one of us are blessed to experience such kind of situation or scenario. It's just that our effort should be genuine, honest. It is impossible to really love yourself unless you have self approval and self acceptance. These are all complementary to each other. Self approval and self acceptance. वो होगा तभी हम लव कर पाएंगे अपने आप को, एंड उसके बाद हम लव कर पाएंगे और किसी को, to the other person. If I am not approving myself, if I am not accepting myself, and I am going to the guilt mode for the smallest thing, forget about the biggest thing, then I cannot actually do the same thing. I unknowingly I'll be doing the same thing to others. Do you scold and criticize yourself endlessly? Do you believe you are unlovable? Do you live in chaos and disorder? Sorry. Do you attract lovers and maids who belittle you? Do you mistreat your body with unhealthy food choice and stressful thoughts? So these are the reflective questions, very, very important. Especially the last one, easily actually we can find it out. The others are also very important, but this one immediately the answer will come. Do you mistreat your body? And don't you think that it is any only mistreating to others is something which we should not do? No, we should not mistreat our own body also. And by eating or taking the unhealthy food or the stressful thoughts or any kind of how you will be able to know which is stressful thought. One way of understanding is that your mind will not be in peace, your thoughts will be moving very fast, you will be feeling very much in chaos. Actually, you'll like feel like, "Oh, what happened, that means like not in a steady state." Main thing is that your thoughts will run very fast. Thoughts are running very fast means you are in a stressful situation, you are creating stressful thoughts. And just whenever you notice this, bring a direct shift, because this is a mistreat to our body and soul and mind. If you deny your good in any way, it is an act of not loving yourself. I remember a woman I worked with who wore contact lenses. Yeah, this story actually we have discussed yesterday also. So in the pursuit of time, maybe I'll be leaving that. Yes, Nisaji, you can carry on. The universe gave her exactly what she asked for. This is how powerful our thoughts are. So, this story actually, when we discussed how exactly we what exactly we believe, whether it is positive or negative, we bring it about, and we have the tendency not to believe the positive very easily, but to believe the negative very easily, which should be the other way around. And without awareness, that actually is creating a lot of unnecessary or unwanted situation in our life. This is how powerful our thoughts are. So let's be very careful on what is the thought which is coming in our mind, and keep checking. When we check, we can change. Yes, Shilpa ji, Sukh ji, or the previous hand is okay. Maybe put previous hand. Previously, you have raised your hand, so I'm going further. Think how perfect you were when you were a tiny baby. Babies do not have to do anything to become perfect. They are already perfect. And they act as if they know it. They know they are the center of the universe. They are not afraid to ask for what they want. They freely express their emotions. So these are the attributes of the baby. Any child, and our intention, or our what do you say, like, we should always simulate how the baby behaves, because they are clean. Very rarely they have accumulated the surrounding and the surrounding conditioning. So if we can be like them, we can be playful like them, we can be expressive like them, then the life will be very different. Then coming to the mirror exercise, in particular, that author is asking us to do in this particular chapter is, I love. The first affirmation is, I love and approve myself. So the moment we start our day, that time we need to do. So if you are doing, really great. If not doing, again, this is a reminder to start from the the first thought in the morning. First thought in the morning is gratitude and approval, self-approval affirmations, or gratitude to the God and gratitude to the self. So this is the affirmation that she wants us to do again and again. I love and approve of myself. And just another affirmation what she has mentioned is, I am good enough. I am worth loving. I am worth loving. If I cannot love myself, but I am expecting that others should love me, will it happen? Mostly it cannot. Then author is suggesting that if you can do more than 100 times, yes.
Sorry, Vikasi, I want to share something here. I went to a lama, not the animal, but a Buddhist lama a decade ago, and he asked us the question. We were all more women over there, and he asked us if we loved our children. And okay, I'll make it short. You cannot give what you don't have. If I come to you and asking you for water or some juice and you don't have the juice, you can't give me. So if you say that I love my child, I give my life for my child, but you do not have love enough for yourself, then it isn't true. The reason why you would kill yourself or you would sacrifice your life for your child is because you cannot see the pain that you would go through if your child would not be there anymore before you go. So learning this deep lesson that First, it's me, just like on the plane. First, the mask goes on me, then I put the mask on the others. So,
Very
if I want to love others, I have to love myself. Not only just love, as you put it, as you read it, unconditionally. Just like you have to have trust and love for God, also unconditionally. The same.
true. Very true. Thanks for sharing. Then author is saying that each time you pass through a mirror, we need to reflect and affirm every time. And if we are not passing through mirror, then we create a mirror of our own by our selfie camera, mobile selfie camera. Then here actually author is saying if any negative thoughts come up, such as how can I approve of myself when I am fat, or it's silly to think that I can think this way, or I am no good, don't resist them, don't fidget them, don't judge them. Let them just be there. Stay focused on what you really want to experience, which is to love and approve of yourself. Another way of doing the same thing, author is saying that okay, just do not get involved. Be a detached observer and shift your focus to what you really want. Let it, let the thoughts of questions be as it is and let it pass. When we are observing, after a point, it will just pass, it cannot stay. When we are detached and observing, when we are actually attached and observing, or we are actually holding it, we are the person who are not allowing to let them go, so we fall trap in them. So the best way to let them go is to get ourselves detached from them and then observe, and then they will very soon disappear. Then what we are doing in mirror work is trying to get back to the heart of who we really are. We want to experience who we are when we are not judging ourselves. Very, very important, when we are not judging ourselves. And the question of right and wrong, when it comes, when we judge ourselves, then only it will come, right? If we are not judging only, where is the question of right, wrong, of me being right or wrong, or of others being right and wrong? Let's, in the beginning day only, I told that if anyone remembers correctly, being judgmental is the biggest curse of humanity. So let's be very careful and not being judgmental to self, to others, to situations, and not create stressful thoughts. This is the biggest blessing that we can give to ourselves. This is the biggest gift that we can give to ourselves. The power is within you. The day 5 journaling exercises goes like this. Write down some of the ways you do not love yourself, or ways you express your lack of self-worth. We express our lack of self-worth in many different ways. We need to identify and we need to write them down. Unless until we are figuring them out, we will keep repeating that pattern again and again. The pattern will never automatically dissolve. So, what are the ways in which we are expressing our lack of self worth? There will be definitely something which is happening repeatedly that we need to figure it out. Do you criticize your body? Few things actually how to find it out by asking this question. Do you criticize your body, or do you talk down to yourself? These are the two things as an example author has given. There are more to it. Write down some of the negative opinions you think others have of you. For each of these negative opinions, write down an affirmation to turn it into a positive statement. For example, you could change, my mother thinks I am fat, to I am beautiful exactly as I am. Because we are non-judgmental and we are not judging, so there is no question of non-acceptance. This can be a great mantra. We are not going to judge. And the moment we are not judging, we are not creating a label, especially a negative label, and approving self and others and situations. It doesn't mean that we are not judging when we need to make some decisions. When we need to make some decisions, being judgmental and judging properly from all the angles, from all the aspects, that is really required. So we need which faculty. Make a list of all the reasons why you love yourself. Make another list of why people love to spend time with you. So we are not doing only the negative part of the exercise. We are also doing the way by which I love myself and the reasons for which I love myself and others also love myself. That list also. That list why it is required, because we want to grow. We want to grow those lists, those reasons, and by focusing more, we can grow them. Then the fourth journaling question is, post this loving list where you can see them every day. Only the loving list. Be mindful, not the other one. Other one is we are noting or writing down to identify and eliminate. The second list need to be post so that we can glorify and increase. Then the last two parties, like I love being me. This is the heartful thought for the day 5. Can you imagine how wonderful it would be if you could live your life without ever being criticized by anyone? How beautiful it would be if you could live your life without ever being criticized by anyone. We always wanted that. Now is the time that we will be giving this gift to ourselves. At least me, I am not going to criticize myself. Let's take this bold step from today. Automatically, others will fall in line. Would not it be wonderful to feel totally at ease, totally comfortable? You would get up in the morning and know you were going to have a wonderful day, because everybody would love you and nobody would put you down. You would feel just great. You would feel just great. You know what? You can give this to yourself. You can make the experience of living with yourself the most wonderful experience imaginable. You can wake up in the morning and feel the joy of spending another day with you. And that will happen slowly, but it will definitely happen. That joy we need to awaken. That inner kindle has to be purposefully and consciously done. Few of the affirmations that is given by the author. I am supposed to read it very slowly to feel it, but because of time, I am bound kind of. I don't want to miss. At the same time, I want to cover everything. So let me read little faster. Be mindful and try to reiterate as I am reading it. Reiterate in your mind. I am totally adequate for all situations. I choose to feel good about myself. I am worthy of my own love. I stand on my own 2 feet. I accept and use my own power. It is safe for me to speak up for myself. I am loved and accepted exactly as I am, right here and right now. My self esteem is high because I honor who I am. My life gets more fabulous every day. I look forward to what each new hour brings. I am neither too little nor too much, and I do not have to prove myself to anyone. Life supports me in every possible way. My consciousness is filled with loving, positive, healthy thoughts that are reflected in my experience. The greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. I love myself exactly as I am. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. Very, very important. I love myself exactly as I am. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to be loved, to love myself. With this is the end of the chapter 5, and tomorrow we'll start chapter 6 or day 6 of mirror work. So, a heartful thanks to all of you who patiently stayed till the end, even though it is little late, but we have completed before 1 hour. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Dheeraj ji,
Prakash ji.
Shyam ji, Mushkan ji. Thank you, Jamit
Thank
ji.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Mahesh ji. Thank you, Balaji.